What's going on, guys? It's Anarchy Immortal here, and today we're looking at the Maddox RFB. So the Maddox did get quite a bit of a nerf recently. It was one of the guns that I pretty much saw every single game. Most players were running it. I know a lot of the pro players used it and really enjoyed it. It was quite overpowered, to be honest. It was the best gun in the game at the time. And they did nerf it quite a lot. They nerfed the recoil, they nerfed the quick draw time, they nerfed the stock speed. They nerfed pretty much everything about the gun. It did take quite a hit, really. It's not the best gun in the game anymore, in my opinion. Although I do still feel it's very, very strong because it was so strong pre-patch that even following all the nerfs that it got, it's still strong now. It is definitely still usable, especially after they did rebuff the recoil. Not to the same point it was pre-patch, but they did rebuff it, so it's a little bit more usable as it was very, very hard to use. And following community feedback, because a lot of people were unhappy when it did get nerfed so severely, because it is such a well-used gun. I think it was a good thing. I mean, it was very, very good, and I did use it a lot. I really enjoyed it, but I mean, now it does open the game up to a lot more variety, as I felt like 90% of the players you saw were using it at the time, when now you do see a lot more different guns in the game, and you know, that's good for it. It's good for the variety. It's good for a different game. You know, if everyone's running the same gun, it is a little bit stale, but yeah, I think it's one of them. I do think it was a good idea, but it did get quite a severe buff. It's still usable. That's the main thing. So I'm gonna show you a gameplay I got. So I actually go 72-4 on Morocco and absolutely destroy the opposition. I'm using it and I'm wrecking with it. It's a really good gameplay. I hope you'll enjoy it. So I'm just gonna go through the class setup that I was using. So for the optic, I had the ELO. Now the ELO did get a bit more of a nerf than the other sights for this. The recoil is a bit stronger than it is for, say, the reflex or the holographic or dual zoom, but I do still feel like the ELO is the best sight, and it was the one I used pre-patch, so I'm kind of used to it. I do really like it. We're going to use quick draw 1 and 2 because the quick draw did get a nerf, and I do feel like quick draw 1 and 2 is really important, especially if you're going to go against like sort of SMGs, because you can play quite aggressive with this gun because of the fire rate. If you're going against FNGs, being able to get your gun up quicker and get them first few shots in is going to help you massively, especially if you're going against like Spitfires or SOGs or fast firing weapons. And we're also going to be using stock just so we can get that strafe speed, as I feel like stock's probably the best attachment in the game, just so you can move about, because at the end of the day, if you're in a one-on-one gunfight with someone, the only thing you can do other than just aiming straight is being able to move and hopefully throw their shot off. We're going to be using Stim Shot, as I want to play quite aggressive, because I'm going to be playing Kill Confirmed, which I personally think is the best game mode at the moment. They did increase the amount you get per for picking up tags to 100 as opposed to 75 pre-patch. This is really important. So you get 50 for the kill, you get 100 for the tag. If you're someone that plays the objective and does pick up those tags and does get quite a lot of kills, you can really stack your streaks. And when you start stacking your streaks, you can start calling them in, destroying the opposition, getting more tags, more streaks, and it just spitballs. And I feel like it's one of the game modes where you can really level up fast, which is what I want to do at the moment, because I'm trying to go for level 1000 eventually. I'm grinding there. We're also using Scavenger, which I don't normally use. If I ever do a class L video, you'll understand. I normally run Crash and leave my perk 1. But I am using it in this video because I use Seraph, which did receive a nerf. The Annihilator, the fire rate has been nerfed, but I still think it's very, very good. The TAC deployed did get a buff though, so when your teammates deploy, you get 30 points as opposed to 15 pre-patch. So that's good for getting your streaks and you're building up your score. Yeah, so I'm going to use that in this game because I do still like the Annihilator. It is still very usable. We've got Dexterity, and the reason for this is that so I can jump shot, because you get increased weapon accuracy when jumping, and I do tend to slide a lot in my gameplay to get out of situations or to get behind cover, etc. So that's really useful. Normally I might run Gung Ho, but the reason that I'm not is because I've got Quick Draw 1 and 2, meaning that I don't need that recover from sprint faster, which is the main part of Gung Ho that I like. And finally, we're just going to be running Dead Silence. The reason for that is just so we can move quietly, not be on enemies' acoustic sensors, and then because we move quietly, I can sound hole better with my headphones. Right, guys, so I'm going to get right into the video. So I'll pass you over to the gameplay.
Special forces are cleared to engage.
nearby. Your TAC deploy beacon is offline. Sniper helicopter above. Frag orders received.
We've lost control. Nice work, Black Ops.